Hello, all. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 199. We're going to talk about Uber with Pew Pews. Uber partners with T-Mobile. Oh, I don't know about this one. We're fussy about this. And Uber is on the number 3 list of great leadership, and that's something I thought I'd never read in my entire life. So that should be interesting discussion. Larry, how's it going on this Wednesday evening?
It is going well. It is very hot here, as I'm sure it is up in Michigan and over most of the country.
Yeah.
But we are inside in the air, so feeling pretty good.
Yep. I'm very grateful for air conditioning and
yes,
that
indeed.
I can pay my electricity bill for that air conditioning. So
no doubt.
My solar isn't quite covering my air.
Not quite, huh?
Not quite. It's hot out. That son of a bitch has been running. So
just running along.
If you want to know any information about the Gig Economy Show, go to gigeconomyshow.com to sign up for our newsletter. There we have some news, all that fun stuff. And you can download the podcast, all that good stuff. And then we have our awesome Patreon members that support us every month. That's Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Bud from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Frank from Philly, Tom from Chicago, and Jim from Connecticut. I just noticed this. We only have one supporter in Michigan. Like you're not from Michigan, but
right.
That's interesting. And if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/the GigEcon podcast. You get an extra podcast a month, which will come next week because I don't think we've done one this month. A t-shirt and ad-free shows and all that fun stuff. So just go there and check out the different tiers if you are interested in supporting us. And then, of course, we have the Telegram. We did get a new person this week, or today, actually. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Larry, tell them what the Telegram group's about.
Yeah, so the Telegram group is where we just communicate, we chat. You can do like text like chat, or you can do voice memos. So it's good when you're driving. You're not trying to type on your phone while you're driving, maybe, but you can talk to other gig workers all around the country, all around the world. We have people in Michigan, Chicago, Kentucky, North Carolina, New Zealand. You can get on there. You can talk about your day. You can ask questions, get tips and tricks. You can vent about the crappy passenger you just had that smelled like feet, whatever you need to do. But it's a good way to meet some people, make some friends that also work in the gig economy.
Smells like feet. I think there's a lot of BO going on this week with the heat wave.
Temps. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It is brutal out there.
I don't understand people that don't wear deodorant.
It's so funny. Our office where I work, I don't know what they keep the air on, but it is like I have to wear a jacket in my office.
It's like an ice box.
It is. So like at lunchtime, like this week, I went out every lunchtime. I'd go out for about 30 minutes and read the book, that we were discussing, and then I'd last about 30 minutes. I was like, I got to go back inside.
Yeah.
It's so hot out here.
Yeah, it's so bad. I just noticed Tommy. I showed his comments. He said, "What's up?" Yeah. He's shirtless in his picture.
Hey, now we're not that kind of show.
Hey, are we though?
Well, I mean that too quick, didn't I? Before I thought that through. I didn't think that. Hey, episode, next week we got to do something special. There you go.
We can be convinced to take our shirts off. I mean, you're not going to like what you see, but
no, it's not going to be fun. You'll need therapy afterwards.
But. You'll need therapy. BetterHelp.com. Promo code.
Not a sponsor yet.
Oh no, I don't know. No, that's never going to happen. All right, stories from the road. I'll just go real quick. I really don't have any. I've been doing gig work almost every day. I took Sunday. I took Father's Day off, and I took Monday off. Ended up going to Inside Out 2 with the fam Monday night. So that's normally when I've been working. The Amazon shifts are usually, well, you can do the 3 o'clock in the morning ones, but I don't. They're not horrible, but like I'm a zombie during the week. I feel hungover. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're getting up in the middle of the night. So you go to, if you can get to bed early, but let's say you go to bed at 10, you're getting up at 3.
It's not natural.
It's not natural. So it's like you're almost working third shift. And I'm just like, I'll do it if I need to. But so, I took Sunday and Monday off, worked last night. And then, of course, I don't work Wednesday nights because I'm right here recording. So, but it's been good. But getting about a route a week, been getting some decent routes. My route last night, Damn, it was a 4-hour route, finishing 2, only 15 stops. I don't know if they must have, like, split it open or something, but, yeah, I'll take that. It was a nice payout, but other than that, not any really crazy stories from Amazon. It's gone relatively smooth other than, that last story that we talked about last week. What about you, Larry?
Very good. Yeah, I haven't been driving a ton, but I did drive a few days. Only story I really had is I had a passenger. She's a repeat passenger. Had her a few months ago, and when I had her as a passenger that time, she picked her up about 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. She was trashed and supposedly going to the liquor store, which she did not need more alcohol for sure. But as soon as we got started going, she's like, no, that's not where I need to go. I need to go over to this certain street. She didn't have an address. And so kind of like, okay, well, as long as you can find it once we get there. And then the story kind of comes out that she's going over here to this house where her ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend live, and they were going to hook up for a threesome, and she couldn't wait to make out with this girl. And it was an interesting ride, to say the least. But anyway, so I debated when she got in the other day. We're once again going to the liquor store, but she was 100% sober.
Did you recognize her name before she got in?
I did not. I wasn't even thinking about it, but then I saw the location, and it's an apartment complex. I think she's the only person I've ever picked up from that apartment. So once I started heading there, I was like, oh, okay, I think I know who this is.
Yeah,
And so I didn't say anything on the ride because I was taking her to the liquor store and back. So on the way there, I didn't say much. And then on the way back, she gets in. I'm like, oh, so yeah, last time I saw you, you were heading for an adventure, and you could tell like she was a little embarrassed, and I was like, how'd that turn out for you? She's like, I don't even remember much of that night. I'm like, yeah, sure you do.
That's crazy.
I didn't press her though. I didn't press her anymore, but she kept apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, you didn't do anything wrong. She's like, is that the time when I didn't know the address and we couldn't find the house? I'm like, yeah, we drove up and down the street like 3 times trying to find this house, but didn't really push her on it.
Yeah, it's crazy the different lives people lead that you wouldn't even think of. I mean, that stuff's going on, but you're like, that's crazy. Also, this is going to be, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but do you ever think this is going to be so weird? But hey, why not? Do you ever like drive around and think how many people are like actually having sex that very moment? Like it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, is there like 100,000 people having sex, or just even like not even just sex, but like random things? Like how many literal cars are on the road right now in the United States? Just like random crazy numbers that you would never know.
BetterHelp.com, Jason. But no. No, it's funny. That thought has kind of crossed my mind, like when I'm working late night with like the college crowd. You're driving around all these dorms and apartments and everything. You're like, man, I just wonder how much drunken sex is going on in these buildings now.
How many kids are getting conceived right in this moment?
Exactly, right at this second. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Like you see all the cars on the road when you're driving, like in your city, and you're like, I am in just this tiny city, and it is bumper to bumper. And think of the amount of cars throughout the world. It's just crazy to me. You can't even. It's like, can you fathom $1 billion? Like you can't really fathom how much money $1 billion is. It's just
no. It's kind of incomprehensible to
it is
try to think about.
So, all right, gig economy in the news as we jump in. So we have talked about this before.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but I just kind of want to go over what I think these guys are doing. So it's like Uber, but with pew pews. New car service hit speed bump with Phoenix expansion. So this is called Black Wolf. We kind of found out about them on TikTok. It's a rideshare service that carries that the drivers are armed, which was fine. And I thought, well, it's very niche. I'm sure it's for higher end clients and stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to be like an UberX price, driving to the bar to have somebody that's armed. But this article talks about pretty much they're doing shit without like following the rules. They're going into areas and they don't have a permit for rideshare companies. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think this is the problem. He launched a company in 2023, but they're just doing things that, like, you still got to do the bullshit around, you know, that just the rules, the regulations. You still got to do that.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, they're just following Uber's lead
yeah,
because Uber did this stuff everywhere. I mean, they
yeah.
went into city after city and just started working before they had all the permits, and they would pay the fines in some of them because they were getting so much money from all the investors
Well,
out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just and that's fine, but I don't think they have the money like Uber does.
No, I
You
don't
know what
think
I
so at
mean?
all.
I mean, I like that he's starting it. I think it's kind of I think it's a good service. Um, and maybe not super high end. I don't know. The article didn't maybe I missed the cost of what a ride would be, but like the security stops in the ride. Like they don't walk them to the door or anything. Like we're just
Right.
like when we're in the car, we're armed and we're going to protect you, but after that like the contract ends or whatever, but um I would be curious what it would cost.
Yeah, I would like to find out the price. That would be
Because
interesting.
I mean, if it was reasonable and I'm like, okay, you're going to a concert in, I don't know, like, well, so for instance, there's a concert venue in Flint, Michigan, and it is in the straight up, it's
In the
bad
hood.
area. It's in the bad area, and it's a beautiful venue. Like I could see going there, driving there, and then going to the concert and leaving. But I mean, what is the price? Is it $100? Is it $200? It all depends on
Okay.
it. But
I'm looking at their website right now. So it says, their FAQ, how much does a ride cost? It says varies on the service selected, your distance and time. Base fare is $20, and then it's $2 a mile and $1 a minute. $1 a minute and a minimum fare of $45. That's premium. Now the regular it's called Black Wolf Armed. Base fare is $30. Distance rate is $3 a mile and $1.25 a minute with a minimum fare of
well,
$65.
how do they say a base of this, but then a minimum fare? I don't understand what the base means.
Yeah, if you have a minimum fare,
If you have minimum fare, that's your
yeah,
base, right?
exactly. So it says
Yeah.
our price is very competitive with Uber Black and can sometimes be lower depending
Okay.
on distance and time. We're are for everyday Americans who want to feel safe without burning a hole in their pocketbook.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it compares to an Uber Black, then it's a no-brainer, right? Then it's not for super high-end clients because there's people that use Uber Black all the time, CEOs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know though. Do you feel it's kind of kitschy? Because I mean, granted, there are stuff that happen to drivers. I mean, it's inevitable,
Mhm.
right? We don't
Sure.
see anything about taxi drivers, right? So just we see the Uber stuff because it gets clicks, but this shit
Yeah.
happens all the time, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Like we got to put
Sure.
it in perspective. Like, I mean, how many times have you had a gun pulled on you when you were driving, Larry?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Not yet. Thank
Me
goodness.
either. And
Knock
not
on
say
wood.
I've been in some uncomfortable situations, but I've never if I carried a firearm, I would never got would have I've never had a position where I've had to use it or present it. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's cool. I think it's great, and I think it's just a comfort thing for maybe people that are like, just whatever.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Yeah. I've had one situation where it was pretty iffy. It was I thought it might go south
yeah,
really quick, but
yeah.
luckily it did not. But yeah, it looks like their company they're also working on eventually offering on-demand bodyguard services through their app.
See, that would be interesting. That because then it's more than just in the car. You're
Mhm.
walking them to whatever venue they're at, stuff like that. But so traveler, you said $30 to get in the car. I understand that, but like it's not the base thing. Like, I mean, obviously you're gonna travel. Like when I used to work for the lawn care company, our base our was $35, and that was for a 2,000 square foot lawn.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like it would be just to roll up there be $35 for 2,000, but anything over that would go over. So I don't know. I don't know how you'd be $30 in the car. I mean, the car's still got to move. You still got to go. I don't know. It's just confusing to me, but I would just say my minimum fare is $45 and then it's
Yeah,
$2 a minute and then da da da.
exactly.
But Yeah, I would never use it, but I like it's out there for somebody. And hey, anyone that's trying to start a new business in this economy and he can do it, good for him. So
Yeah, and they're only in a couple places so far. I think Miami is one, and I forget where the other one was at. But obviously, they're trying to branch out into Phoenix, but they got shut down because they didn't
oh
have the permits.
yeah, yeah. He says think of it as like a lap dance. I mean, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to comment on that. That's going to get me in trouble.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. All right. Next up, Larry.
Okay, I think this one's a video. So it's just a video, just a premise. Looks like somebody was kind of upset with the Amazon driver, so they followed him and
Yeah, so
threatened him.
it's a slow build, but you'll hear the driver and I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of a twist there, but here we go.
This dude's fucking crazy. Why are you following me? I can't hear you. Your window is down. Your window is up. Yeah?
I'm gonna report you.
Why?
But what's your fucking name?
What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I would like to know what I did.
Here we go.
Was that in the notes?
Huh?
Is that in the customer notes?
Huh?
Is that in the customer notes?
You didn't put it in the door. You just.
Is that in the customer notes
My
on the
God.
app? Is that in the customer notes?
Okay, shoulder, okay, motherfucker.
How am I supposed to know that? You think I know you? You think I fucking know you?
Listen, you gotta do your job.
You're knocking on my
I'm
window.
gonna report you.
Okay, you don't have to follow me. The fuck? Just report me. I don't give a shit.
Because
Fire me. I don't give a
told you
shit.
Stop and you ignore me.
I didn't hear you. I had earbuds in, dumbass. I had earbuds in. Why would I hear you? You have a dislocated shoulder, but you can do all this driving to get to me. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong?
You followed me here. Do you understand that?
What?
You followed me here.
So I want to take your license.
Okay, take a picture. Report me and go. I don't care. Please do.
I don't got my phone now.
Okay? Am I supposed to give a shit about that? You followed me. That's stalker behavior. And say,
Because I want you to ignore me when
your
I told
issue
you.
is that I didn't put the
have
package
a
on your door.
dislocated shoulder.
Put it in the notes. It wasn't in the notes. It's not in the notes. How am I supposed to know? If I have earbuds in, I can't hear you saying that.
Because you're a fucking idiot.
I'm an idiot?
I'll just smack you, man.
You're gonna spank me? You're threatening me? Look at this bullshit. Look at him. He's back out. You still got an issue? What are you doing? What are you doing? Here he comes.
I'm dealing with Amazon. I'm a customer, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're supposed to be telling, like
How am I supposed to know that if I had earbuds in? No, please. Please. How am I supposed to know that if I have earbuds in? If I have earbuds in, I couldn't hear you say that. Yeah.
When I told you, put the box over here. When
I couldn't hear you. I have earbuds in. Yeah, you don't have anything to say.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything, right? Believe me. But I want to, I have. You're and you idiot.
Okay, I'm an idiot. Report me. Still do it. I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. I would literally rather you do. I have it all on video what you did.
There's a lot going on in that video.
There is a lot going on. And I mean, first of all, you can tell the guy, English is probably not his first language.
Right.
I think the driver, I mean, sure, it's a little freaky if you see somebody that's following you when you're doing a route, I'm sure. But I think he could have handled it a little better.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty defensive and pretty aggressive right off the bat, and telling the guy that he should put it in the notes, and the guy probably didn't even know what the notes are.
No. Well, he kept saying he had earbuds in too.
Yeah.
I didn't comprehend.
What that meant, and
Right.
I don't think you should ever be driving around wearing earbuds anyway. But that's another story. But yeah, it escalated, and I think it could have just been handled a whole lot better than it was for sure.
Honestly, I mean, I think the driver is mostly at fault here. I mean,
Oh, me too. 100%.
I think he just
100%.
the guy would have followed him. You're like, hey man, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
wasn't in the notes. Next, this is how you get rid of the problem, right? And now we don't know what
Exactly.
happened before or after. Like this is what the
Sure.
video, you'd be like, hey man, I'm sorry about that. I'll remember to do it, even though you might not ever be the driver again. Or
Yeah.
just say, hey, make sure you put in the notes in the app,
Right.
and then I will try to do that next time. And
Yeah,
then
and
you're
just say,
done.
sorry, I didn't hear you. I was listening to music in my earbuds. I didn't hear you. And that would have just smoothed it all over. I think the guy
Yeah.
would have been fine. But yeah, he was pretty much just a jerk from the get go. It seemed like.
Also, did you notice one thing about the video that was probably a huge violation, but that
What? What was that?
he had his seatbelt connected and he sits in front of his seatbelt
Oh
so
no!
it doesn't ding. Now
There you go.
most of those vans are set up with like a lot of like AI and stuff and monitors
Mhm.
that, so I don't know how he gets away with it. And I'll be honest with you, like it's a tough job being an Amazon driver, and they don't start out very well for pay. I mean, there's a lot of
Mhm.
other jobs that start out more. So I'm not like saying all the drivers
Yeah.
are terrible, but you don't get the cream of the crop delivering for Amazon.
Yeah, they're over at UPS.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are. If I tell drivers like that all the time, I'm like, man, if I mean, go to UPS. Like they'll hire you as long as you're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna
Yeah.
work your ass off, but you're gonna get paid to work your ass off. Like Amazon, they
Exactly.
start at like 15, 16 bucks an hour, and I'm just like, oh. I mean, I see there's a driver aid sticker on the package, and it tells you what number packages. So like when I get them, it's like, let's say 40 packages, 1 through 40. Some of those numbers I see 900,
Oh my goodness gracious!
400, 500. Because I look at my own packages when I get them. I'm like, this motherfucker is on package 350.
Jeez, yeah,
I
right.
know. And I'm just like,
That's insane.
it's insane for $15 an hour. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's just they work them to the bone, and that's just the Amazon philosophy. Work them to the bone, kick them out, and get new blood in there. That's just
Yeah, pretty much like the rideshare company.
yeah. There's no loyalty. There's nothing. You know, you work for somebody like UPS. Even FedEx has. I mean, it's not as good as UPS, but it
Right.
has some loyalty and stuff like that. But
Exactly.
Traveler said he missed a curry to Ann Arbor last night. Dang.
Oh no!
And where is he? He's on. Was he Jersey? I think he was. Although he's traveling, literally traveling, I think, around the country. So
No
but
telling.
yeah, I think I forget. But the driver definitely amped that up, and he probably got fired. I mean, if I saw that as a boss, I'm like, bitch, you're out of here.
Traveler says Syracuse, New York.
Okay, so I was right, east. But I think he's moving around right now. But I got another video. I did 2 videos in a row. What a rookie move.
I'm
to
telling you.
snap this together. So this is just kind of a funny little clip. I guess
This is pretty good. I like this one quite a bit.
Yeah, as you know, what happens when you're an Uber driver. So let me play that. I think it gets a little weird at the end. It's only minute 7 on this one. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can you turn up the music? I love this song. Girl, yes. Of course. Car selfie.
Yeah, my license is suspended right now, so I gotta take Uber.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, I still get to my booty calls.
$5? No, thank you.
So how long have you been doing Uber?
Far too long.
Man, aren't you scared though?
No, I'm not. So how's your day going?
It's going amazing. Do you have a phone charger in here?
Do you even know where you're going?
So I'm headed to the country club, meeting my husband. Oh, and he also told me he got some blue pills for tonight.
Oh, how fun. Oh my god, I love your car. Oh, thank you.
I'm meeting with my boyfriend. We just got back together. You think you can drive faster though? I'll give you 5 stars and a tip.
Bitch, I'm gonna drive safe. Don't make me cancel your ride, baby girl.
I don't understand what happened at the end. I was like, this got weird. I don't even think I watched at the end when I first watched it, but
yeah, the rest of it though is so relatable because in such a short time you see so many of the passengers that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, it resonated with me with the with the people singing in the car, the girls taking selfie in the in the back. The college kids
Yeah.
are always doing that, and you get people telling you stuff like about the blue pills, and because they will tell you anything and everything about their life with no hesitation whatsoever.
I think a lot of it is the alcohol. Like it
Sure.
lowers your inhibitions a little bit. You're just more forthcoming. I mean, I'm the same way. But yeah, it's the blue pill thing. It's like Jesus. I don't need to know that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but they will, and I mean sometimes even without alcohol, there some people are just like they'll lay it out there, and they figure they're probably never going to see again, and they'll just tell their whole life story, what's going on, what they're doing.
Not in Bowling Green. You're definitely gonna see your Larry again.
Probably.
Does it bother you when the flashes all go off when those kids are taking?
Oh, drives me crazy.
I know,
Yeah.
and you do so much of the college stuff that must happen at least every night you're out when you're
at least probably at least once. Yeah.
Yeah, super annoying.
It
Super
is
annoying. Moving on, Larry. Oh, I don't know about this Uber and T-Mobile. Well, it didn't mention, maybe the article did, but I don't even think it mentioned Octopus, did it?
I mean, it mentions by their name, Octopus Interactive, the company name.
Oh, okay.
So we were both kind of sad to hear this, I think, because we're afraid they're going to F it up. But anyway, Uber has gone into a partnership with T-Mobile and the Octopus Interactive, which is the Octopus tablet that we talk about and that we love and that our customers love, the passengers love. It's so much fun. And, I think it gets me bigger tips. But anyway, as part of the partnership, the Octopus tablets are going to display Uber's Journey TV rider experience whenever you're doing an Uber trip. So I guess it's going to have to hook into our Uber app somehow.
It's going to have to, yeah.
Because otherwise, it's not going to know. So anyway, when you're giving an Uber ride, it's going to show a live trip map with an ETA until the drop off. It's going to show personalized recommendations on restaurants near the trip destination, travel inspiration ideas, local activities to enjoy. It says as well as highly relevant video, interactive, and other ads driven by Uber's first party data insights. Now the restaurant stuff is great. We've talked about that. We've wondered whether they could ever incorporate that into that, because I've had passengers that have told me, they'd be like, oh man, does this thing have, restaurant recommendations around here? And so I think that part's going to be good. But as we know, these companies can take something that's really good and just screw it up.
Yeah, for sure. I did see we could advertise looking to join on the ride. We can click on there, submit the podcast. I wonder, and I started going through it, and they're like, what's your monthly budget? I said $25, and I didn't go and get any further than that.
They dropped us.
They dropped us. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so here's the problem. I'm wondering if T-Mobile owns them. So I bet you Octopus didn't want to do this. I bet you they're like, we prefer not to. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there must be a seriously amount of money, with T-Mobile owning them. Maybe they're like giving them a lot more money. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
as long as they keep paying us, the same amount, and the passengers find it just as enjoyable, because I know they like the games. And so I'm wondering if it's showing a map with their ETA, are they, is that going to interfere with the games, or how's it going to work? I'm kind of reserved my right or my opinion on it until I actually see it in action and know how it's all going to play out. Cause if it's like a little corner of the screen, it's got the map or something like that. I have no problem with that. But if it's taken over and they can't play the games anymore and things like that, I don't like that as much.
So the tablet right now, I mean, obviously we drive, so we don't know, what's on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Does it, if you continue to play, does it not show ads at all? Like if you,
no, it will show ads
regardless. If you like, when you're done with the game,
it'll cycle through. Cause I'll have people like, hey, how'd I get back to the games?
Okay.
But I think they're, that's part of it. They have to pay for it.
So, yeah. So I can see some sort of like a third of the screen, the map, and then the games and stuff like that. Because if that's the case, then Uber will show their ad that's for that person in that area, which would be fine as long as it doesn't affect the games.
Yeah, and they say in here, of course, this is coming from them, so it's obviously going to make it sound good. But it said advertisers and riders alike will benefit from the unique ride experience to date because Uber has its own tablets out there and stuff like that. So it says to date, advertisements from Uber's own video screens have seen a 98% completion rate. In addition, riders are seeing value in these ads, with new research showing 74% of people express an interest in taking advantage of one of the offers displayed during a trip, and about 7 in 10 riders view the ads as an enhancement to their ride.
Then why partner with T-Mobile then?
They just want to get more screens, I guess.
I guess, because if your tablet's doing so great, which I literally know no one that has the Uber tablet.
I do not either.
Like, why would you? It pays like a half a cent, I mean, I don't know. It's something.
And they've never offered it to me either.
No, me either. We're in a smaller market, both of us, but it's like, okay, your tablet's done such a great job. Then why share the revenue with, but you're probably right. They're like, well, if we get 50% of the revenue, it's at least better than nothing.
Yeah. Cause, it says here, the Octopus tablets, they're in over 50,000 vehicles in the United States. So.
Oh, wow. 50,000.
That's what it says. That says, expand Uber sharing TV offering to over 50,000 vehicles across the U.S. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would do the Uber tablet, but I'd put it on the other side. I mean, you might as well if you get paid a little bit of money. You know what I mean? You can't get 2 Octopus tablets. So
yeah, but I mean, I think that's against TOS to have two tablets.
Who's TOS?
I think
Octopus or Uber's.
I'd have to. I think both, yeah, or at least one of them. At least one of them it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna know.
Yeah, you probably can't sell your fucking side business in the car either, but everyone does it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyways, us, we love Octopus. We'll just skip that ad tonight because we've kind of talked about it. Link is in the description if you want to download it. I mean, we got to deal with Uber with it. Sounds like it, but as long as they keep the pay the same and people still love it, then you can put whatever you want on it.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a timeline on here. It doesn't say when they're going to roll this out or anything. So, hope we may have a while before we actually see this roll in.
Yeah, and Octopus tablet is really relatively transparent, so I would expect them to be somewhat honest on when it's happening and what's going to happen. So.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah, they're always doing something fun too. For that, I know they're having a special thing tomorrow where they're picking a certain amount of drivers and calling them, just like they did with you, and you win money. And then if you answer the phone saying happy, what was it, Octoversary or something like that, you get an extra $25.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for telling me that, because I kind of breezed through it, but I missed that. I know it's their 6-year anniversary.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, check them out. Link is in the description. Next up, some lawmakers are taking on Uber and Lyft under a surveillance bill. It's on Yahoo Finance. 2 U.S. senators. Hold on, let me get this over in front of me instead of cranking. So I'm talking to the mic. 2 U.S. senators are introducing a bill would require ride-hailing companies, including Uber and Lyft, to notify passengers if their assigned drivers are using a dash cam to record them. Now, doesn't it already notify if you signed up for Uber?
If you sign up and you register your dash cam with them, yes, it's supposed to notify the passengers. But I mean, half the passengers are not paying any attention. Once they order the ride, they don't care. Yeah. But I actually, the new dash cam that I have from Vantrue has a big yellow sticker that I put on my side window.
Oh, did you?
It says protected by Vantrue dash cam.
Okay. Oh, nice. Cool. The legislation from a Republican and a Democrat, which I thought that was interesting, requires companies to give the option of being paired with a new driver if they don't want to ride with a driver using a recorded device. Uber and Lyft drivers are increasingly using cameras on their dashboards to document carjacking, assaults, and robberies. Uber introduced the devices on its network in 2019 with the aim of making service safer and disputes easier to settle. But the introduction of such surveillance has drawn privacy concerns. So I don't know. I think they're going to have trouble with it because a lot of the states are third-party one-party states.
2-party states. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, like in Michigan, I'm the only one that needs to know.
Right. That's a 1-party state. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
so
is the
2-party
biggest
states is when
bullshit thing
yeah.
anyways. And you can't the only thing I know is like I'm the only one that needs to know, but if somebody's on the phone, you are supposed to let them know, the person on the other end of the phone, that you're recording audio and video
Yeah,
with.
don't I always do that. Don't you do that, Jason?
Every single time.
Every single time.
Right. I don't know. I don't think we need legislation on it. It should be like, again, we're independent contractors, and
Mhm.
like, I guess people probably shit on me because I want my cake and eat it too. Like, I want the legislation in there to protect us from deactivations, but I
But
don't want legislation in there to make me tell the person that they have a camera. I mean, it's not like I'm
right.
hiding it. It's fucking in the window and it blinks.
Exactly. Yeah. And this story, I mean, I'm not worried about whatever happens with it
Yeah.
because one, I've had mine registered, so it's supposed to come up in Uber. I think in Lyft now too. 'Cause they did the same thing not too long ago, or at least I saw it in the settings not too long ago. So mine's registered. It's supposed to tell them anyway. And now I have that big yellow sticker on my side window that says, protected by Vantrue dash cam. So
Yeah.
I've only had 2 instances in the 7 years I've been driving that people had issues with the camera.
Yeah, I
And
think
one
I've
of
had
them,
one.
yeah, I've had one guy that was very drunk and he kept trying to turn my camera around. Like, dude, I'm getting ready to pull out on the interstate and put you out. You touch my camera.
Yeah.
This is a no-go. And then I had another guy, I was picking him up, taking him to a wedding. And he was just an angry guy anyway. He thought he's like, oh, girls sitting back here, that camera probably see right up their dress, can it? And I'm like, what? Like we have time to be looking through our dash cam
Yeah.
for stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
no, I don't
weird.
think so, man. I was like, I'll be happy to pull over and you can get another ride, but neither one of them wanted to do that. So
Yeah. I get it though. I mean, like, I just assume I'm recorded all the time, but when you are in that car, you do feel like some sort of privacy, but you
Mhm.
forget that it's not your car. If it was in your own car, of course, like,
right.
but yeah, you get in there and you start talking shit, you know what I mean? You never know who's going to view it.
Yeah, and people do forget. I mean, are not paying attention. I had lots of people. Somebody mentioned something, and then somebody say, "Oh, what's that on your windshield?" And somebody say, "Oh, it's a dash cam," and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't even see that, didn't because it's right there by the
Yeah.
rearview mirror." And then there'll be times like me and my wife, we talking about something, and she'll say something funny, or I'll say something funny, and I'm like, this is on camera, right? And she's like, "Oh my gosh," I always forget about that,
Well,
because it's
yeah,
always there.
but just like you said, we're not viewing it. It just
Right.
records
Yeah.
over it. Like I can count on one hand how many clips I've actually pulled that
Oh.
that I wanted to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled a few from instances where I thought, man, this could be something I need to have, and then I
Yeah.
pull them. I mean, I pull them a lot when I have people that fun passengers or things like
Yeah.
that I think are cool. But videos that I've actually pulled for a specific reason, those have all been when people have run into me.
Yeah.
For
Well,
car accidents.
it's
Not
funny
not
you
that.
say that. I drive so much, but I've
Mhm.
never caught an accident. Never.
Really.
Like, I've got so many miles under my now, a lot of it's in a school bus too,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, I've never seen an accident happen in front of me when I've been
Yeah.
driving. It's kinda crazy.
Yeah. I don't know that I've seen any in front of
I've
me
come
that.
up on stuff that maybe
Mhm.
just happened, like, I've heard
Yeah.
it, and then, like, 10 seconds later, I roll up on it, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy, so
It is because yeah, you drive a lot of miles.
yeah. No, not as many as you. I remember your mileage from last year was
45,000, I think.
insane.
That's that's a few.
Um, that's a few. Alright, gig workers in I think that's British Columbia to be paid a minimum of 20.88 an hour. Is it BC is British Columbia, right? That's your
That
story?
is correct. Yeah. So British Columbia is doing they're doing what they have in some states here, Seattle, the city of Seattle, the city of New York. So they're putting in or instituting a minimum wage. And the part that always gets you, it says it's $20.88, but that's when you're active.
Yeah.
So from the time you begin the job, from the time they accept an assignment until the time it's completed. So we all know that you're not really making $20 an hour,
Right.
unless you're just it's a super busy time and you're just back to back to back to back to back.
Do you think a lot of drivers that are pushing for this don't realize that they're not that it's during just when an active trip? Do you think they're
I 100% do think
yeah,
that people don't realize that.
right. Right. Yeah, they think, "Oh, minimum wage, I can just sit around and not take any rides." I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
no, it's not going to happen only while you're doing the job. So, uh, yeah, if you do something that's, takes you 15 minutes, you're going to make $10.44.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Is there anything different in this ruling or law that it's from the United States stuff that like is there anything about acceptance rate or anything like that?
it doesn't mention anything about acceptance rate or anything like that. It's um, pretty short article.
Okay.
So yeah, it just talks about the figure and that it's going to be like minimum wage. You'll be adjusted annually to keep up with inflation, which
Yeah.
is something I haven't seen in a lot of them. So yeah,
Yeah, it must be. Can you imagine the attorneys or people
Mhm.
working for Uber? I mean, trying to figure out all these damn things
Oh
and
yeah,
then have to code it a certain way in the app and all that shit. Jeez. Um, yeah, it must get very muddy
yeah.
having to do all that stuff.
And
So
it does say later in the article that both Uber and a company called Skip the Dishes, which is a food delivery company in Canada, they're
yeah,
pushing back, saying it's going to drive up, consumer costs. And the British Columbia premier, I guess it's like their head of state or whatever, he said, you know what, these companies can suck it up. They'll be all right. They'll be fine.
yeah. Well, they can. They can. It's just, how again, it's the slippery slope. How long before we're all W-2. All of a sudden, we're just like, yep, you got to sign up for this. I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just, uh, I don't like
Yeah.
it. But
It's funny. Just go back to the dash cam thing. I saw Janet said that she had a dash cam video used in a murder case. Said the scene was a house that she had passed several times and views showed what cars were parked outside.
wow. So I wonder
Yeah.
if she saw the news and if someone said, if you have any information, and just, I'd be curious how she how she, knew that they needed that footage. That's interesting. And I don't
Yeah.
understand Mark's comment. I just hear ingested anally. Did we say something that's even close to that? It feels like
Apparently.
it feels like an out of place comment. I think he's on 2 different streams and he commented on the wrong one.
I don't know. Explain yourself, Mark.
I
Explain
mean,
yourself.
it sounds funny. I would
No
like a
doubt.
joke like that, but I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
Just out of the
moving on, best leadership. These get a job at one of these 15 companies if you want to work with a great leadership team. So like Larry shared this in the group, and we have a group that we share articles, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm
uh,
like, well, I guess it's got to be gig related somehow. So the list was based on ratings provided between May 13, 2023 and May 13, 2024. Large companies are considered workplaces with more than 500 employees, while smaller mid-sized companies are anything under 500. That said, the small and mid-sized company had to have at least 25 employees, blah, blah, blah. Coming in the top was the Dutch academic public company Elsevier, which is located in Philadelphia. ADP, a human resource management software company located in New Jersey, came in second. If you're wondering if there are any companies that the general public would recognize, Uber may manage to take home the 3rd spot.
now
Now,
who would have believed
how?
that years ago when
How?
it was such a train wreck there?
I can't believe that.
It's amazing.
And the
It
other
really is.
yeah, 3rd. I mean, I wouldn't guess that they were in a top 100.
No, I wouldn't either.
I mean, that's crazy. The rest of the companies you don't really know. The other one was Top Golf. That was number 6 in Dallas. But so kind of a follow-up to that. According to the list or like the interview, I gotta keep moving these articles over because I look away. That nearly every employee who was surveyed reported that their manager needs to improve their communication skills. They were also asked to rate the overall performance of their CEO as well as leadership skills of the larger executive team. So, I mean, obviously you're never going to say it's amazing. You know what I mean? You're always going to say I could use some more communication.
Sure.
Also, employees gave the opportunity to answer more in-depth questions, including things about their comfort levels when it comes to giving their direct managers feedback. So, you know, you always wonder if these things are anonymous. I mean, obviously, it's a third-party company that did the survey. But speaking of Uber CEO, did you see that he sold 1 million shares of Uber?
I did not see
I
that.
didn't see an article about that. I read it somewhere on Reddit. So he made $70 million. That's a red flag. That sounds like he might be jumping ship.
Could
A
be.
million? I think it was 1 million shares. I think so. I mean, that
I'll
would
see.
make sense
Yeah,
because it's
I'll
like
see if I can look that up.
$33. Yeah, it's like $33 a share or something like that. I don't know, but he ended up like it was like a $70 million payout. But I should have grabbed it where I don't know why I didn't, but I thought, that seems odd. Like, why would you be cashing that much out if you weren't gonna leave?
Here we go. On May 17th, 2024, Dara sold 500,000 shares of Uber common stock for a total of approximately $32.96 million.
Okay, so I was way off. I thought it was 1 million, but maybe he
Yeah,
did
it's
it.
just a mere 500,000, man.
I mean,
that's not even newsworthy, right?
right. Well, I'm just saying. I swear, it probably was on Reddit, but it could have been bullshit. But I don't know. Either way, a lot of the comments that was my first reaction too. It's
But
always
I mean,
interesting
go ahead.
when you have your first reaction in your head before you read the comments, and that's usually like the top 3. You're like, okay, I'm on track here. I'm not completely shit back crazy.
Yeah. So I just see down below my Google search is the Reddit, and the headline is Dara sells 1 million shares for $33 each. But it says,
see, I said 1,033,000, so I read.
That's right. It's exactly the article you read.
Okay.
But then like under Yahoo Finance, it said this is from like 2003. He sold 100,000 shares back in 2003. So
Well,
that's not, half a million, but it's not the first time he's sold shares apparently.
I mean, it's a lot of money. Just, I mean,
well, kids probably going to college or something. He needs to make
32 million worth. Imagine the taxes on that shit, though.
Yeah, no.
Not that he can't pay it, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Kind of a red flag. Like, are you planning on? I mean, it would seem for him. I don't know. How long I feel like CEOs don't stay there that long. They're like 5-7 years and they move on to another company. And he's kind of at that time frame at this point, right?
Yeah.
At least
5. He would fit that, but
interesting.
So going back, Janet said that the police were asking for information, so Jason was right. And Mark said he said when I said adjusted annually, he heard ingested anally.
That's hilarious. Get your mind out of the gutter, boy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right. DoorDash. What time are we at? 50 minutes. Okay, we're doing good. DoorDash announces new alcohol delivery partnerships and ad features.
Yeah, so DoorDash is pushing their relationships with different companies to deliver alcohol. It said in 2023, the total number of liquor stores available on DoorDash in the U.S. increased by more than 60%. DoorDash is the U.S. category share leader for third-party liquor store delivery sales, which I did not know.
I did not know that either.
Yeah. It says as consumers enjoy the best of their communities conveniently and safely, local merchants are growing their business while Dashers have more earning opportunities. So they're a lot of this article is talking about their partnerships with different companies. They're offering things where they can have sponsored products for alcohol, so brands can convert high intent customers with sponsored products. They have occasion branded campaigns. So if these companies have key moments or there's certain events like the Super Bowl, St. Patrick's Day, things like that, they can use that to drive awareness and conversion of their brand. So partnership with a company called Micmac, which is digital advertising. So yeah, they're really kind of pushing into the alcohol delivery for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing alcohol delivery for DoorDash because it usually pays 8,
Mhm.
$10. It's
Yeah.
not very long, and it's just you go in to grab one bottle.
Yeah.
I do a lot of what's the popular? Not White Claw. Well, White Claw was the original like seltzer, but is it Truly maybe?
You're
Truly.
asking the wrong dude, man.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Well, yeah, you should know. What do the kids try to get in your car with?
I'm not looking back there. All I see is a can. That's it.
I was like, the energy drink. They're
Yeah.
like, yep, okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah. Whatever you
sounds
say.
good, sounds good.
Okay, so in this article, it says outside of purchasing alcohol at restaurants or bars, the number one preferred method of buying alcohol is using an app to order for same day delivery. We're excited to offer more tools and services to help our partners grow while ensuring customers can safely discover, interact, and engage with relevant brands and products for every occasion.
Thanks, DoorDash.
Yeah, and DoorDash.
We love
Goodness,
you.
says they can consumers can find over 100,000 alcoholic beverages across thousands of stores in 32 states in the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico on DoorDash.
Damn. When are they going to put weed on there?
I saw something about that the other day.
I mean, it's
I
gonna
really
take.
did.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I mean,
yeah.
there are most weed places will
Yeah.
deliver your weed to you, but
Yeah.
at some point that's gonna get put on the platform, right? I mean,
Hold on here. I'm gonna pull this. Let me see if I can pull it up.
it's a Google episode.
Yes, it is. I thought I saw something there.
I mean, the regulations have got to be crazy with that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well,
I don't see anything pop right up, but
so
it was in Canada. I think they do it in Canada already.
So I don't since weed has become legal in Michigan, I have not have I bought anything? I don't think I have.
Yeah.
But I thought it's just a cash business at this point. I don't think you can use your debit card. So I think that is the big issue with
it is because the credit card companies are worried since it's still against the law federally, they won't let you run credit cards.
Well, then how do you order it online though? You have to pay cash
that I
when
don't
they
know.
roll up? I don't know. I just feel like as far as I know that everything was cash, and because of I thought it had something to do with the banks too, being federally insured and stuff like that. So I guess my point is I don't know how that would work on like a gig platform at this point.
Yeah. And I was also reading an article the other day about how like tons of the weed companies in Colorado are going out of business.
Well, it's oversaturated.
It's oversaturated. The prices have gone down so much and they're running into so much regulation. They're just giving up.
Yeah. I hope that goes away. I think cannabis is a good tool for a lot of people.
Sure.
For health benefits, cancer people struggling with autoimmune disorders, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that things will be better with that. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. All right. DoorDash vows to remove controversial consumer fee in Seattle if new minimum wage passes. So DoorDash, for the first time, it has publicly promised to axe when we talked about this, the $5 fee on consumer orders if the city passes a revised minimum wage law. So they're going to drop, after heavy lobbying from DoorDash and Uber, Seattle Council President Sarah Nelson proposed a new set of regulations in April that would lower the minimum wage for drivers from $26.40 to $19.97. So roughly, little more than the $5 fee. And they promised that they would get rid of that. Which is a good move. It's a good move. It's not a good move for the driver, but people they probably noticed that their business was going down. Customers are not wanting to pay an additional $5 on top of the other fees, delivery fee, and the tip. Like it was probably they were just looking at their numbers, going, "This isn't working." So. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure people are cutting back. I've read many stories about people cutting back at the grocery store, people cutting back in entertainment and going out, things like that. So I'm sure food delivery, that's something you can either cut out or scale back on real easy. And
the picture they posted, which I thought was interesting. It says a service, whatever this order was, looks like the subtotal was $27.79. Service fee of $4.17. This 15% service fee, minimum $3, helps us operate DoorDash. The tax, $3.53, and the SEA regulatory response fee, $4.99. This fee is used to help cover DoorDash's increased operating costs as a result of Seattle's app-based work minimum pay ordinance. I mean, it fucking spells it out right
It
there.
does, man. It
Holy
just put right in
shit.
your face. Right in
They
your
were
face.
like, they were just gonna let you know exactly what's going on. And they probably look and see, oh, these fucking drivers are making $26.40 and like I'm making $15. You know what I mean? Like if you saw that before you were gonna hit okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
mean, they spelled it out to a T.
Big bold letters.
Big bold letters. Yeah. So you're looking at 5, 9, 12. So you're almost $13 just in fees for a 27. So you're at $40 before tip.
Yeah.
On that order. Like, holy shit. Again, I don't know how people like, is there gonna come a point where there's a breaking point where it's just people just stop ordering? Because I mean, clearly that hasn't happened. I mean,
but yeah, if we get into some pretty hard economic times, I think you'll see it go way down. Because again, it's something that you can do without.
Yeah, but the problem is, I think honestly, and this is complete speculation. I have no data to back this up, but I see some of the places where I deliver, and I'm like, are you putting on a credit card?
Yeah.
Like, are you using your credit card to DoorDash? Because like, how do you have $50 to get, like two meals from McDonald's? Like by the time you pay all the fees and the tip, and I mean, I ain't complaining. I'm getting paid, so it's like I'm fine with that. But I just wonder, like, man, don't do that. Just don't. The only time I everything is like if you're drunk, get an Uber. Like Justin Timberlake should have got an Uber.
Should have got an Uber, man. Oh, JT.
Did you see that? And I would recognize him because he's kind of a little bit in my era, but like the cop was so young, he didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But like even the name, maybe he doesn't use his legal name on his license doesn't say Justin Timberlake, so it may be something else. So if you don't know what he looks like, but I was like, you don't know who JT is? Oh man. Yeah. He mumbled something like, this is gonna mess up my tour. And the cop was like, what? Like he didn't quite understand who it was.
Yeah, don't know what's going on, but
anyways. All right, well, we'll just do it since we got 30 seconds.
Okay.
So
we can do it in 30 seconds.
So this is go ahead, Larry. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is if you're listening to the audio version, it's a picture people walking under a sign says split your ride with 200 people trains now on Uber. So from everything I've researched, this is mainly over in England and that part of the world. They've been doing it for a couple years. They tested it out here. I did find an article where they tested it out in Denver back in 2019. So you know how Uber will do their test markets for different things, but I couldn't find anywhere that said it ever spread. And so I'm not sure if you can even still do it in Denver, but over in the UK, seems to be pretty popular. You call an Uber ride to the train station while you're on your way. Within the Uber app, you can buy your train tickets. That makes it easy.
So I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
I didn't do any research on it.
No, it is real. And they also give you whatever your train ticket costs, they give you 10% of that back in Uber credits.
Okay.
So you can use that toward your next Uber ride or toward Uber Eats or whatever. So, the video I was watching, the guy's like, hey, if you're buying your train tickets and you're not buying them through Uber, you're losing out on 10% every time you order.
Well, I know in Europe, I've never been there, but a lot of people travel by train. You can get to other countries relatively quickly by train. Like that's a main focus of travel. You're not flying from country to country over there.
Yeah. It's a shame we do not have more train travel here, more high-speed trains. It's political.
Is it? The train stuff?
It is. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I saw a stat that came out about Amtrak, and it said like they were late 60% of the time, or so. It was like a horrible statistic. And so I'm like, who's running this shit? You know what I mean? High speed train. It would be cool to get a high speed train from like the East Coast to the West Coast. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Be neat.
I don't know why they stopped train stuff. Like as soon as the automobile came out, it was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
We don't need
Yeah.
trains anymore.
My wife has used it, and some of our kids have used it up because they do have them up in the Northeast. So, like, my wife's taken it from Richmond, Virginia, up to the DC area, and she loved it because it's unlike a plane. You have the seats are roomy. You have plenty of room. You can
Yeah.
just step back and relax. It's a nice ride. You don't have to deal with any traffic. Driving, and it's very inexpensive.
Now, literally, I've never been on a train. Well, no, I take that back. I've been on like a fun train, like that goes around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, amusement park train.
Yeah, no. I've been on those. This is like it's actually it is a train that it's a full train, and it's like a theater train or something.
Right? Yeah, dinner.
Yeah,
Take a little trip and come back.
But
I know
can you on those like the ones that your wife rode on, or even Amtrak, can you move around and like go to the bathroom when the thing's flying down the tracks?
Oh yeah, I think so. I'll ask her for sure.
It's not weird feeling, like you know how it is, like when you're on a boat or something, it rocks back and forth. But oh God, yes, Mark, I did. Oh my God, what a throwback!
Oh, so Mark's asking if Jason ever rode the train in the old city center as a kid.
Yes, yeah. So this is in the police station, right? I'm pretty sure, Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the city center, the cop shop is there right now. But it had a train that was suspended from the ceiling and would go around the mall.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that thing, I think that's the one he's talking about. Yeah,
you can ride it?
Yeah, you ride it. It was suspended from the ceiling.
So how were you protected from like falling out?
Fuck if I know. I don't remember. I do remember the train though. Like soon as he said the old city center though. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember.
Wild.
It was wild. I'll have to find some I'm sure there's pictures of it somewhere, but
wow.
Yeah. Who knows? We probably weren't even secure in there.
Probably not back then. No, probably not.
Like
yeah, that's cool.
They did crazy shit back in the 80s. So
oh, yeah. Janet said Niagara Falls to New York City. They rode the train.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she said it was awesome. So Janet, were you able to get up and like go to the restroom and move around while you're on the train, or were you?
I assume you can, like on a boat.
I would think you'd have to.
Well, on a boat, it's moving left, right, up and down. You're on a freaking track. You know what I mean? It's not like it's wobbling or anything.
Yeah.
If it's wobbling, you're gonna have a bad day.
I say you have to because like my boss is taking one. It's funny. There's like a couple places in Kentucky you can still take a train, and him and his wife are taking one to Chicago in a couple weeks. He said it was really inexpensive. Of course, he has to drive like 2 hours from Bowling Green to the train station.
Really?
But then they're taking it to Chicago and back. And that's a good, that's probably a good 7-hour train ride at least. So I'm sure there are people are going to have to get up and go to the bathroom.
I'm trying to find the train on Google.
Yeah.
Just quick.
Mark said it went away in the mid 80s.
I think I found it, but then it says this train was at the public museum, so that can't be it. I just Googled city center train in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't know what other words would I put on there. It keeps saying at the museum. Are you sure it wasn't at the museum, Mark? No, this was like brightly colored. This is like Chuck E. Cheese color, I thought. Like the purples and
right, yeah.
I'll have to find it and send it to you. But anyways,
that's
all right, guys. Episode 200. I have a small idea for it. I haven't told Larry yet, but we'll see what we can do. I was thinking about it while we were recording. I think it would be a complete chaotic mess, but I mean, it is what it is. Usually those episodes, those big milestones don't turn out that great. I remember another show I did episode 100 and 200, and they were both kind of flops, but it doesn't matter. We had fun when we did it anyway. So
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Okay. So Janet said, yes, they were free to move about and go buy food. Said not many people on board. They did business class for more room. So.
Well, I would want to be able to have like a comfortable recliner if I was going to travel on the train. Like I don't need a bed unless it's like a long trip, but like I would need something where it's not just like I'm sitting up like this the whole time.
I don't know if they have recliners. I don't know about that.
Fuck that shit. I'm out of here. Rickety slow moving affair. Interesting. All right. Well, we got to go. We're already 6 minutes. I already got to edit longer than a 1 hour.
my
I'm already
goodness.
fussy.
Fussy.
All right, guys. As always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
All right. Have a
Hey, good night, everybody.